Good day to you, Twitch audience and YouTube audience. I suppose if you're watching this on the YouTube channel, welcome to Two Bros One Mic joint podcast part 2. I am one of your hosts, Steve. My other host, Aaron or Asman, is currently away draining the snake. He shall join us in a moment. So yeah, how are we all doing today? Hopefully you enjoyed part 1 and you're going to enjoy part 2 here. Okay, let's get right into it. So, let's start with some gaming news. Well, it's not really news, it's just more about reminiscing. So, I don't know if you've all noticed, but over the sort of past few years, and particularly the last sort of year or two, it's been quite a big decline in split screen gaming. So, if you're like an older gamer like we are, you know, you can remember your SNES, your Mega Drive, and then like your N64, your PlayStation 1 and whatnot. We're not going to mention the Sega Saturn because that was a terrible console. But
what's wrong with Sega Saturn?
It sucked. It was crap.
Doesn't matter if it sucked or not, you still fucking mention it, you bitch.
It's crap. Anyway, yeah, so one thing you remember from that time period is good old split screen gaming. You get your pal around, do a little bit of competitive gaming, particularly stuff like the N64, 4-player split screen. You could do it on the PS1 with some games. If you had that, what the hell was it called? It's like a multi-link or something.
Yeah, the multi-link was garbage.
Yeah. And yeah, just you and the boys having a good old time, or you and the gals, depending if you're, you know, male or female. Yeah, having a nice wee gaming session, a bit of good times with the friends. Don't get that nowadays, really. Some games still do, but for the most part, no, the multiplayer is exclusive to the online format. It's kind of a shame that, we were just discussing this before, it's kind of a shame because, yeah, I don't know, you just don't get that same sort of laughs and camaraderie that you got with the split screen sort of gaming and compared to what you do now with the online gaming, you know?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's a shame, really. I remember when saying that, the benefits of not having that sort of thing at the moment is that you're not having to... We used to play it on this really old school 19-inch TV, and this is all fat boy back TV.
Yeah.
And all 4 of us would be sitting there crammed into a small space, trying to watch this little box, trying to see what we're doing, trying to kill the person on GoldenEye or something like that.
And then everybody's accusing each other of cheating by looking at the screen. It's like, come on, there's 4 little screens on a small TV. How are you not going to see what's going on with other players?
Is that how you beat me all the time?
Hey, no, I just bet you because I was just that good. That's.
Well, no, you actually had a good game. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, here's the thing. He's going to imply this was for GoldenEye, but what I'm talking about was Halo. On the original Xbox.
Yeah, the original
map
of Halo.
you know, son, you know.
Yeah.
We've had some quite fierce Halo wars over the game's sort of franchise's history, you know. And this is why split screen gaming used to be awesome. And I know you can do it now online with Halo, but it's just not the same.
You got the new Xbox. I think it's like you can pay for like so many different games. It's like so much a month.
It's like, is it Xbox Game Pass or something?
Yeah, that's
like
right. Xbox Game Pass.
No, I've not. I've got EA access because like there's a few games like UFC 2 and the latest sort of Madden and NHL and whatnot I wanted.
Yeah, I cancelled all my subscriptions to that.
It's about half the price of the Game Pass, I think. I'm sure it's like $3.99 or $4.99. The Game Pass is $7.99 or
yeah, it's $7.99.
This is in the UK. If you're signing up to this overseas, I've no idea what it's costing you, but in the UK that's what it's costing us in pounds.
Yeah, don't forget exchange rates. I don't think we're getting a cheaper deal. I can assure you we're not. What I was going to suggest was, if you fancy it, if you go onto that and you get that, then you've got Halo Guardians, Halo 5. The only problem it's 96 gig to download.
Well, I actually have Halo Guardians on disc because I bought it when it came out. So
you still got it installed, like?
No, but I can get it installed. It wouldn't take long.
Right, I think I better start downloading.
Oh no, yeah, no, you need this. We can get it going.
Definitely
get it done. Get it done. I still maintain that the original Halo was the best for
everything.
For sort of like, well, I don't know. I quite liked Halo 3 for campaign was probably my favourite campaign. Like the story.
Really? I thought Halo 2 was.
No, I liked Halo 3.
Excuse me, guys.
Right. This is what happens when you don't put your phone on silent. See, right now he's away. I'm just gonna let you know a little secret, guys. I actually didn't put my phone on silent either, but I'm gonna do it now and pretend like I did, and I can take the high ground when he comes back. Yeah. So, well, he's away talking on the phone. Yeah. I quite liked Halo 3's campaign. Halo 2 had a good one. Halo 1 had a good one. Halo 4 and 5, no, not really that great a campaign for them. I think Deathmatch though in Halo 1 was the best. It was just so much fun. You know, taking me kicking his ass at it. It was great. You know. But yeah, so I don't know. What you guys think? Do you think split screen's just like dead tech, or do you think we should bring a bit, bring it back a bit more in games? I think we should, but I was just criticising you to the audience there.
That doesn't surprise me any. It's alright. I understand. I shouldn't have done that. I should turn my phone off like I usually do.
My phone was on silent.
I know. Mine should have been too.
It's okay. We'll not tell him what I told you. It's fine.
I'll fucking hear it later on, so you don't tell him.
Yeah, anyway. So yeah, I'm just saying to them there, I think we should bring back split screen into more games. But some people might think it's kind of like dead tech. No, I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah. I mean, it's trying to do a 2-player game on Madden as well. I mean, that's impossible to do sometimes.
Is that because I started beating you at Madden? Right. When we first started playing Madden together, Aaron was like all over me. I mean, like
Madden on Madden, right? Just don't think we're otherwise. Yeah, okay.
That's right. And on Madden, exactly. Yeah, and then I started to get my tactics down pat, and then he was like, "Yeah, I don't really play Madden anymore." And I was like, "Bitch." I tell you another reason why you should bring back split screen in games, because it's quite simple. What happens to your online multiplayer gaming when the servers go down, when the game gets old and it's no longer supported?
Yeah, 2-player.
Because although a few games in the console have started to do it, for the most part, there is no dedicated server option on the consoles. Pardon me. On a lot of PC games, you can have dedicated servers. So you rent a server from a server provider. Yep. You can host your games on there, keep it going. On the console, not really caught on. So once the developer supported servers go down, what do you do? You can't play your game anymore together, can you? Whereas if you had split screen, you could still play with your friends. So yeah, I think we should bring back split screen into more games. That's just me though. I don't know.
Well, you've got a point. I mean, there's some games that I would love to play more online, even though they're still for the 360, even though they were released years and years and years ago. I still love to play the game online. I mean, like Battlefield by Company 2. That has to be one of the greatest games. Yeah.
Awesome game.
I mean, yeah, sure, it's not that great graphics. It's not got that. When we compare it now,
but the thing is, though, right?
But the gameplay. Like,
I still play some games on N64, and graphics quality aside, that don't matter because the game mechanics are still that strong and still that good. The graphics don't matter.
Yeah, true.
As long as the core game mechanics are fine and have survived the sort of test of time, I think graphic quality is just really not as big an issue as some folk might think it'll be.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't that long ago, fired at the N64, did another sort of playthrough of GoldenEye. Still as good a game to me now as it was all those years ago. I mean, what was that, 97 that came out? 20 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Still a fucking good game, so it is. Really good game. But that, like I said, that's just me. Everyone's got their thing that they like about games, so...
I mean, as soon as everyone mentions about classic gaming nowadays, everyone seems to go straight to like an N64 GoldenEye. I mean, it's become a cult classic.
It's a good game.
That's why, yeah.
It's a really good game. That's all I can really say about it. It's a good game. No, it really is.
Yeah.
Do
you know how you were saying before about on your previous podcast in part 1, you mentioned about the release games that weren't correct or weren't right.
Yeah.
Can you imagine they tried to do that in cartridge games?
Well, the thing is, though, they did, and there's plenty of good examples. If you go on YouTube and search, there's plenty of good examples from like NES and SNES, Mega Drive, Master System, sort of N64, any cartridge-based console. There's plenty of examples of games that there's bugs that obviously weren't caught in the quality sort of control or the play testing before it was released.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't patch, like, I'm assuming this is where you're going with this, is you can't patch that out.
Yeah, true.
If it's got a fault, it's got a fault. It's just, it is what it is.
But what I was really meaning was they were releasable.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they had to be.
Yeah.
It's not just that. I mean, right, this is really the issue you're facing. So, you've got the game developer studio that actually makes the game.
Yeah.
Then you'll have a studio like EA, for example. Like, basically, they're the publisher. So what happens is they kind of cover the cost. Like, they'll cover production cost. They'll sort of pay the studio to work in the game. They pay all the millions that go into marketing and stuff for the game. And the problem is, once they advertise a game for a set period, then that's it. All this money's been spent on the marketing. You can't then say, oh, actually, we're going to need like another month or two. You know, for the most part, you're going to have to release the game for when they've said it's going to be released.
Yeah.
And that's why, you know, quite often nowadays you'll see a lot of companies sort of doing all these day one sort of patches and stuff to try and fix it, because the pressure is there from the marketing sort of side of things.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. Does that make it right? I mean, I don't know. I still think really maybe the developers should put the foot down a bit more and say, look, we just can't do it. End of story, you know.
Yeah.
Instead of being micromanaged. But I don't know. It's how the industry works. What can you do about it? Moving on to the next thing, or segue, I'll say, because Aaron quite liked that in the last one.
Segway.
Segue into the next part. So, yeah, let's talk about some TV, because I've not watched the latest episode. But, yeah, Star Trek Discovery on Netflix, man. I got to admit, I'm quite enjoying it. Like, I've seen some people online really slamming it, like they really don't like it. I've got to admit, I'm quite liking it so far.
Yeah, me too. I mean,
the first episode was a little bit sketchy. I was like, I don't know if this is going to be my cup of tea. Then I watched the next episode and I was like, yeah, no, I like this. It's good, man. It's good.
if I got within the fourth episode and I just went, sold, this is me. I like this.
Yeah, it was that episode, what was it? I quite like the one, one on the Klingon prison ship. Oh, yeah, spoiler alerts. I fucking keep forgetting to do that. Spoiler alerts. If you've not up to date with this, or up to date to the point we're talking about, then yeah, just put your fingers in the ears for a few minutes.
Yep.
Yeah, the woman on the prison ship with Captain Larker and that guy that becomes the chief of security, like Taylor or something Taylor something, one of the two.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a pretty good episode. That the last week's episode was good as well. That dude from the prison ship showed up with that time crystal thing.
Yeah.
I love how the show kind of slightly attempted to explain how you could have a time crystal, and then just kind of went, nah.
Fuck it.
You can't explain this shit. Just fuck it. Yeah. It's a time crystal. Deal with it. He's got one. It is what it is.
And it's within the whale.
Yeah.
That's another spoiler alert. They do have space whales in that episode.
They're an endangered species, though.
Yeah, and he still manages to get one in the whale.
Yeah.
Dirty bastard.
But that was a good. That's quite a good episode. That whole thing with Stannis, because he's mixed up with that DNA thing from that tardigrade thing they were using to make the slip drive work.
Yeah.
So he can now exist across sort of multiple timelines and stuff like that. That's got to fuck with your head a wee bit.
Damn right, particularly when you're an engineer that doesn't have much of a social calendar, you could say. Somebody he doesn't really have like a.
He's cheered up quite a bit.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, he's not the same uppity git that he was to begin with. You know what he reminds me of though? That whole thing across, I can see across different timelines. Did you ever watch the third Men in Black film?
Yes.
That alien that exists in all possible timelines at the same time.
Yeah.
You can choose which one he wants to see.
Yeah.
Or something. It kind of made me think of that. Well, same idea, isn't it? Stannis is aware across multiple timelines.
Are you trying to say that they got their script from watching several episodes of Men in Black?
No, but I'm just saying that's what I thought of when when I seen that. Hey, right, let's be honest on that issue. There's no such thing nowadays really as an original idea.
There's none.
You know, ideas are mainly just rehashes or modifications to previous ideas. So I mean, there is no such thing as an original idea anymore.
Yeah, and as well as concepts. There seems to be no original idea of. No original concepts either. I
Nope.
mean, take it for instance. We're doing a podcast where hundreds of millions of people have done podcasts before, but we're trying to make ours unique in a way. But we're using the same format as other people.
Yeah,
have.
I mean, the thing is though, and this comes to the idea of there being no original ideas isn't necessarily a bad thing. Just because you're doing something that many people have done before doesn't mean that you can't do it better. So obviously we're trying to do a podcast that we think is quite good. You know, it's quite laid back, and you know, we're hopefully talking about things that people would have an interest in and whatnot. And I suppose it's like that with the TV programs. Yeah, you maybe borrow or expand upon previous ideas in different films or stuff, or same in games.
Yeah.
But if you can do it better, then you know people are like, yeah, well, that's fine because your version's better.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, no, there is no original ideas in media nowadays. So I mean, you know, who knows? Maybe they did take that idea from Men in Black, or maybe it came from someone else. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
You know, doesn't matter. It's still a cool episode.
Definitely.
What I want to know is what's going to happen to this admiral that the Klingons have got.
Yeah, we'll find out soon enough. This new episode it's out. Hopefully, it has something in it, but I have not seen it yet.
Because Captain is it Lorca or Lorca? It's Lorca, isn't it?
I think called Lorca. Yeah.
Yeah, Captain Lorca doesn't seem too keen to go and get her after she was threatening to sort of take his command away.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. Don't know how that'll play out. Who the hell knows? Anyway, so what's next on the calendar here on the agenda?
Well, to be honest with you, I was going to do a quick shout out to anyone that's doing any charity work for the charities that are about at the moment. Obviously, there's you know, for UK, there's like Red Nose Day, there's Diabetes UK, there's all sorts of different ones as well as Children in Need and a few others. If anyone's doing anything for that, and or any charity organisation or organising for the charity, any like charity days, then I just want to give you a big shout out and say you're doing an amazing job and keep it up. And hopefully, whatever your charity's for, hopefully they get what they need and what they should have.
Yeah. No, it's a good message. If you're taking the time to do some volunteer work to help out charities, particularly for a good need where people could really benefit from the kind donations of people, then yeah, well done for stepping up and trying to do something for someone else. Well done to you. I'm going to give a shout out to this turtle that's sat across to my side, 'cause I'm kind of curious what he's doing with that plant pot, Aaron.
As my girlfriend would tell you, it's a tortoise.
Well, a tortoise. What is the tortoise doing?
The tortoise is probably in its. What the hell is it doing?
Yeah,
We've got a wee plant pot in its wee home, and it's digging itself in on the plant pot just to cool down a little bit.
That's cool. I just wanted to know. I'm just curious. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, what's next on the agenda?
Well, I was thinking about classic movies, you know, like your 80s and 90s movies. I don't know about yourself, but I really started watching 18 movies at a very, very young age. I really shouldn't have, but I mean, the very first movie I remember was Bloodsport. You know, proper martial arts movie about it was a true story, believe it or not, and it was to do with.
Can I just say though,
what?
that the true story it's based on, the story's actually mostly made up.
Really?
Yeah, they reckon like that.
Spoiler for me.
That was it. Frank somebody. What was his name?
Dukes.
Yeah. Apparently, they reckon a lot of his story was bullshit. Like he bought the trophy. He bought a trophy or something, pretending he'd won it and stuff.
Really?
It was mostly him making stuff up. So although it's a good movie that was based on apparently a real fighter's true story.
Yeah.
Turns out the real fighter's true story was mostly false,
Oh my
So it's
God.
one of those sort of things. It's based on a true story that was mostly made up and exaggerated. So yeah,
Oh,
that's kind.
that's just taking the life out of my
Yeah,
words,
that. Yeah, I'm gonna give props to WhatCulture.com for making me aware of that one. So
That sucks, man.
yeah, no, I'm trying to think. What's the first movie I watched when I was a kid that was like for adults? Not like that kind of movie, by the way. I think it was Aliens. One of the first movies I can remember watching that was definitely I was too young to be watching was Aliens. Awesome movie that.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. It's a shame that for the most part they couldn't get the games right for the Aliens franchise.
Still can't get the games right. For
Aliens
the franchise.
trilogy on the PlayStation 1 was pretty good. Just run and guns like Doom
Yeah.
with aliens. That was awesome. Then they kind of went a bit crap. Alien Isolation though was really good.
Yes. Yes.
Even though I couldn't, for the most part, I could never find the damn alien half the time.
You're too fucking quiet.
No. At one point I ran on. I actually started trying to hit things, making noise. I was shouting into my microphone. And it jumped. It kind of passed through a vent. And I was like, there you are. I felt like I was the only person in the game who was actually trying to find the aliens to hide from it. I had to turn off my. I had to turn off the Kinect sensor though, because the wife kept sort of getting a bit nervous in that, and like she was actually like it was picking up on the noise. I'm like, I don't want you to give me away, because there was one part when I knew the alien was there. I was hiding in a locker, and I was like, right. Despite me trying to find this damn thing, I now kind of don't want it to find me.
Yeah.
And she was like, it's like, shut the fuck up. It's going to know I'm hiding here. No, really good game though.
Yeah.
Really good game.
I'll second that. I absolutely loved that game. I adored it. The only reason why I stopped playing it was because I just never had the time to play it. In the end, it was just.
I tell you what, I never got around to playing on it that I should have done. I had that DLC for the Nostradamus.
Yeah.
Think you like from the first film?
Yeah.
Because the wife got me it for Christmas back when it was out, and it was the sort of the special edition one that had the Nostradamus crew sort of DLC, and yeah, I never actually tried it. I should have, never did. Shame. But yeah, no. Apart from those couple of examples, for the most part, games really haven't been that great,
No.
which is a shame.
Same with Predator movie games.
Oh yeah.
Oh, they suck. I mean, I've never had a game that had so much opportunity and potential that just was ruined. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
the PC game, the Alien vs Predator PC game that I once played a long time ago was actually not bad on the grounds that it was set far away from the movies and the
Yeah.
franchise as far as you'll go, and it was like an offcut of something else. But then they try to bring it back to it's got to be with the Marines, Space Marines, whatever the class does, and
Colonial Marines.
Colonial Marines. Thank you, Space Marines. That's Warhammer, isn't it?
Space Marines is like the Warhammer. Colonial
Yeah, but I do
Marines.
apologise.
Colonial Marines are the sort of fighting force with the within the Aliens franchise.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was getting a little bit like my brain was like, wait a minute, just double checking. Yeah, no, that's right.
No. Yeah. Yeah, but no, but yeah, but.
No, it's what? To be fair though, the films for like mixing Predators and Aliens weren't much better themselves.
That's true.
The first film was better than the second one.
Yes.
The first film had a couple of good fight scenes. Like, despite most folk trashing the film, because it was pretty bad, everybody got a little bit of goosebumps when you first seen the alien, like xenomorphs and the Predators squaring off. You're like, oh shit, son, it's about to go down.
Yeah.
It's a shame the rest of the film was bollocks, because those kind of fight scenes were pretty good. I like it when that big ass alien queen at the end, that Predator's like, I ain't scared of you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fuck your shit up. You're like, you go, son, you fucking do it. And then, yeah. This is the thing though, isn't it? For the most part, making movies based on computer games and making computer games based on movies, for the most part, has never really worked that well.
It has never worked like that at all.
No, GoldenEye game, good old GoldenEye in N64, obviously based off of the film.
It was slightly based off the film, but
It was
had its own set-
it was mainly based off the film,
How was it mainly?
because most of the missions are based off the film.
Are they?
Well, obviously they're expanded upon, and a couple of the missions have nothing to do with the film.
Yeah,
But for the
there was some
right,
parts of it. Yeah,
level 1 at the dam, that's out the film. Level 2 going for the facility, out the film. Level 3 in the runway, from the film.
train as well.
The bunker stuff. Okay, there's the bunker in Seven Nine in the film. Bond wasn't there. That was just to flesh out the game.
Yeah.
But the train stuff, the jungle bits, and all that shit up in the cradle at the end. So most of it was actually based on the film, like but obviously fleshed out a bit for the gamer.
Of course. But that's what I mean. If they flesh games out and they do it properly like they did on GoldenEye, then it becomes its own entity and it becomes its own thing. And it's good that way. I mean, obviously, massive fans.
Yeah.
It's a cult classic.
But then, like you said, it can go wrong the other way. For example, the Doom franchise, amazing first-person shooting games.
Yes.
Terrible film. There's nothing good. I'm sorry, the film's terrible.
Yeah, it's nothing.
The only bit about that film that I like is when John Reaper wakes up from being injected with that extra chromosome
and
thing.
It becomes a first person.
And like it's a first person aspect. That was cool. That was a cool directorial sort of touch.
Yeah, I like that too.
Like it's that bit when he's walking along and that sort of infected zombie-like person, like scientist is just like laughing. He just fucking up comes the shotgun, bang, blows his head off. That was cool. Like, but yeah. Apart from that, it was. I mean, even my man, The Rock, couldn't fucking make that film good.
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson could not.
Nah, and you know it's a bad film if him being there couldn't make it good.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy that plays Reaper, I forget his name, but the dude that played John Reaper, he's a good actor, and usually if he's in something, and stuff's not too bad, but even he couldn't save the film.
Yeah.
It's kind of a shame.
Like again, it's to do with a weak script as well. You can't. That's the thing about a game. A game's all to do with the play. It's all about what you're doing and your process of getting to the end of that level or the end of that mission. The only issue is you can't really put that in a script because it's mainly action, followed by a couple of words here and there, a couple of limericks.
You're exactly right. Sorry, I hit the microphone there again.
Put him down, Tony.
Yep. Hang on a sec. Sorry, a bit of gas there. Yeah, no, you're mainly right. The problem when you're trying to adapt a game into a film is, like you said, some games don't necessarily have much of a plot, or the plot's kind of stretched out by the content of actually playing through the levels.
Yeah.
In a film, you've got to have a sort of narrative that's ongoing, and sometimes it's hard to flesh out correctly. I mean, it happens, but I don't know. For the most part, like the Resident Evil franchise in terms of films and games is kind of a mixed bag, because some of the Resident Evil films are actually pretty decent. They got a bit stupid going along towards the end, but particularly the first and second film, they were decent. They were a decent adaptation of a good game franchise.
Yep.
Then the third one wasn't bad, Extinction. Then we got fourth one was Afterlife, I think. That started getting a little bit kind of silly, a little bit away from the franchise. Then you had the next one was even more kind of silly. Then the last one that came out was actually not that bad. There's some pretty decent content in that film.
Yeah.
But then it's like with the games, once they started moving away from the traditional zombie sort of, focus, and it started becoming about more like mutated people and whatnot, some of the games started getting a little bit towards the end, a bit like, yeah. Then they brought out fucking Resident Evil 7, and oh my god, that is a good game. You played that yet?
No.
It's
I told
fucking
you Resident
awesome.
Evil's not my type of thing, but
No. This is more like a Silent Hill kind of style game. It's first person.
all right.
The way it plays to me, it feels more like involved in the Silent Hill. Like it's more about you're in this creepy ass house to begin with, and like it's like holy shit, what's going on? You can hear shit banging about. You're just like, oh my god, what the fuck is happening here? It's good. It's really good. They definitely went back to the survival horror instead of like survival action. I still want to play it in VR because I've been told that makes it even way more intense. I'm like, fuck, I've got to try that. But
That's the thing. There's quite a lot of good VR games out there these days. But once again, VR is when taken off the shelf, dusted down, improved upon, and put back up again. It's a shame, really.
Yeah, but I mean the problem is though, right? See, this is my thing with new tech that some people have in terms of like attitude towards it is too many people expect new tech to work straight away.
Nah.
And if it doesn't work straight away within the first shot, well, that's it. It's useless now. You've got to give it time.
I mean, the PS4's VR headset is £300. That's a hell of a bill to be put down to turn around and say, that's no use.
That is very cheap compared to alternatives, though.
Is it?
Oh, the Oculus Rift, the HTC Vive, and they're way more expensive. They're at least twice expensive.
Jesus, like £600, £700, stuff like that.
No, seriously.
Jesus.
Seriously, that's probably the cheapest headset you sort of going.
That's shocking. But I seen a VR headset. It was done by a YouTuber called Jack Frags, and he was going through the VR set for Star Wars, and he was jumping into a split wing fighter or an X-fighter wing fighter, I think it classed them as, or
was it Star Wars?
Star Wars, yeah.
Be an X-wing or a TIE fighter.
It would have been an X-wing. The
X-wings are rebel ships. TIE fighters are the Imperial.
No, it's an X-wing. Then it was.
It's got the foils that kind of open.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, they're closed down when it's like they're sort of like
going
for speed,
yeah.
and then it opens up into attack sort of part when the foils. Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of a swing wing Tomcat. To be honest with you, I think it's classed as an F-15. Really is quite cool.
F-14.
Is it F-14? Oh, there you go.
F-14 was the Tomcat. If you're thinking like the ones in Top Gun, that's it. That was the F-14 Tomcat.
I thought it was the F-15.
No, the F-15 is similar, but the difference between... I'm just going to go on nerdy real quick here. The difference with the F-14 is the F-14 was more of a design as an aerial fighter.
Yeah.
The F-15 was more of a sort of multi-purpose, so like it could do aerial combat, but it could also do bombing missions. It was like a multi-purpose fighter, kind of is what they...
Is F-15 the Tornado like?
No.
No. No idea.
An F-15 is an F-15.
Alright, fair enough.
Like you have like F-15 Eagles or something like that.
Oh, that's the like the mainstay for Americans military for years and years and years. Yeah, sorry, yeah, okay. Scroll back.
Was the Tornado not an F4? Was it not an F4 Tornado?
I can't remember. It's been such a long time since I've looked at any of that stuff.
The different letters though on the end of the plane designation.
We're talking about jet fighters, by the way. If you're wondering what we're talking about, but actual real jet fighters.
Just to finish that up, I'm pretty sure like the letter that's after the sort of number designation is to do with the configuration or something.
Yeah.
You get like F-15D, F-15E. I think it's that letter represents the configuration it's in.
Yeah.
Or something like that. Anyway,
you've got, like ground bombers, you've got air-to-air combat, you've got
none of which has got anything to do with Star Wars. So
nothing at all.
So let's get back to it.
But what I was saying was the VR set going through YouTube, it was beautiful. Every time he moved his head, it recorded any movement. You could see around his cockpit. You could see his controls move when he was moving his joypads. You could, I mean, it was just phenomenal. And also, if you look, excuse me, I'm burping and all. When you look behind him, you actually got to see his R2D2 unit.
Well,
but it's basically one of those small.
Well, if it's the one you see off of the films, like the replay and that, be R2D2. You get like R4 and R3. Like it's just different designation. They're like Astro like units or astromech units or something like that.
Yeah, but I tell you what, you got to see it, and you got to see it on its when you got hit. You got to see it like working. It was something beautiful. I mean, the VR headset, if it's done right.
I'm surprised you're not getting all sort of man creaming about the Star Trek game.
Ah, right.
The Bridge Crew one. That's one I thought you'd be getting all hot and bothered over.
On the grounds that I'd be.
You would be in nerd heaven along with me.
Yeah.
Getting to pretend you're actually on a functional starship bridge as part of the crew. You'd be having a mangasm like me.
Yeah, I would.
Just face it.
I would be. There's no denying it.
We'd both be in nerd heaven.
Yeah, but the only issue is the fact that it's not been developed that much. You would expect them, because with such a concept, the game would be outstanding. I mean, regardless of which position you're playing, and it changes every time you're on, so you've got to learn each part, which you would do in real life if you were part of a Federation starship.
Just hope you're not a red shirt.
I'm not a red shirt. I'll never be a red shirt.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I think when it comes to like the VR and stuff, like I think people just need to be a little bit more patient, give it a bit more time, because obviously they're still trying to perfect the technology. They're still trying to optimize it for gaming. They're still trying to design games based around VR as the primary control sort of mechanism and experience. So I mean, you've got. I mean, like I said, nowadays sometimes people are just a bit too quick to be like, oh well, it's been out for 2 weeks. What's going on with it? Right, on the shelf, done. I don't know. I think you've got to be, I mean, patient with it. I mean, VR has been in development for years. Like you see it with the Oculus Rift, they keep bringing out the different newer versions of it. It's an ongoing process, but it will be the future. At some point down the line, holding a gamepad in your hand or something, or sitting playing the game, watching it on the TV, will be a thing in the past. It'll be mainly that kind of level of immersion. It'll be sweet, like. It will be good. Right, we're getting close to time to wrapping up. Is there anything else you want to say before we call it time?
Yeah, I was just thinking about what was the last game that you played that just made you laugh right the way through?
Well, laugh because it was funny, or laugh because it was that bad?
No, laugh because it was that funny. It was a good wee game, and you'd honestly say, "Oh, that was a brilliant game," even though you've not played it for years. Could you even think of one that like that?
Not really. Most of the games I play are either sort of RPG based, so they're quite serious. Racing games, so there's no comedy in that. FPS games or horror related games. I mean,
So
you're too busy, pissing yourself. Like, a horror game, you're not pissing yourself with laughs. You're just pissing yourself.
well, fair enough.
So you're like, oh shit. So I mean, no, I can't really.
Do you know? To be honest with you, even though I don't like the game genre and everything else, but Grand Theft Auto had been the last time I actually really had a good laugh about playing the game. And like the missions and whatnot were just hilarious right the way through. Even though they were meant to be kind of serious to get like become like the biggest gangster, whatever they class them as these days, it was a laugh right the way through. And even though I did enjoy the gameplay, I didn't enjoy the game. That's what made it funny.
I've always quite enjoyed. I've always enjoyed Grand Theft Auto games, way back from GTA 1 up till the most recent one, GTA 5. You get that though. GTA, like a lot of people love them, a lot of people don't like them, and some people are like, meh. It's.
If it wasn't so fucking serious about like why did it have to be gangsters and all the rest of it? Yeah, sure, it makes more interesting gameplay.
Well, to be fair, it's a game based around crime. You ain't gonna be like a fucking nun, are you?
Yeah, I know, but I didn't like it. You know what I mean?
You show up at the monastery and it's like, oh, sister, what is wrong? Oh, mother, the donation box for the orphanage has been stolen by the Boy Scouts, and the woman's like, let's rock. It's kind of got to be based around criminals. That's kind of the whole idea. That's kind of like saying you want to play a military shooter game and like, I don't know, you've got your fucking local bank manager as your character, and you'd be like, why the fuck am I playing as a bank manager in a fucking World War II game?
All right. Don't fucking beat me down too hard, man.
You're kind of humping the pooch in that one, I'm afraid.
Fair enough, man. But I was just trying to say I'm not keen on constantly playing.
How dare this game based around crime make me play as a gangster? What the fuck are they thinking?
I'm saying the gameplay was great, but the storyline was shit. In other words, I'm just not interested in that sort of shit, so I don't find it intriguing, and that's why I couldn't play the game for long. Even though the gameplay was fantastic, I mean, racing around streets, I mean, it felt
but that's why I like Grand Theft Auto 5, because you had three playable characters you could swap between, and they all had different motives and different outlooks, so like you felt like each character you took control of was actually a different person. They weren't all just like we're gangsters. Like, you've got a retired bank thief who's living in witness protection. You've got a former bank thief who was friends with him, who thought he was dead, who's been like doing his whole drug empire thing. And you've got like your guy who's like working for a shady repo company boosting cars, and he's wanting bigger and better. And then when these two kind of enter his life and he starts getting some bigger and better things, he's maybe wondering, is this kind of what it cracked up to be? So I mean, like, there's different stories, and I think it was Grand Theft Auto was kind of best attempt at trying to actually make the story a bigger part of the gameplay.
Yeah.
So I
We've
quite
seen
liked
some
it.
of the DLC for Grand Theft Auto, though. I mean, like the shark tornado, the runaway train, or whatever it was, and there's all sorts of different things as well.
I have no idea. Sharknado was a film.
Yeah, but they done a DLC for it, or they done like for the PC version, I think it was, of some sort. I've seen it on YouTube gone so many times.
Yeah, the thing is though, you got to bear in mind on the PC, a lot of it'll be like user generated mods, so it's not it's not necessarily, you know, developer supported DLC. It'll be like user generated content. So I mean, you can't really blame a game for what someone makes a mod for.
It's not what I mean. What I mean is that there's so many different things to put onto it, and it kind of, even though it wasn't my thing, I felt like honestly watching it going on, it was like, well, that's lost its way. That's just another thing to add to the list of fucking crazy things that can happen in a game.
Yeah, but I mean the thing is though, the mods only apply if you actually download and apply the mods. So it's not like you have to experience that. You're choosing to experience that if you download and apply the mod. Anyway, guys, we've kind of ran up our time for today here, so I'm going to call an end to part 2 here in the joint podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. It's been fucking fun for us to do. So Aaron, say goodbye to lovely people.
Goodbye, lovely people.
And it's a goodbye, lovely people, for me as well. Okay, guys, stay tuned for part 3. Be sure to check out Aaron's series when it gets up. Be sure to check out my series when it comes up. Oh yeah, shit! That's what we didn't do in the first part on the first podcast.
What's that?
We didn't tell them about a YouTube channel.
Why not?
Because we're stupid and we forgot. Right, okay, guys. Be sure to find us on YouTube. Same name, Two Bros, One Mic. You can catch all of our live streams there if you didn't catch them live, or you just want to put yourself through watching it again. Yeah, stay tuned for the upcoming podcasts. And once again, thanks for listening. Speak to you later.